Hello, welcome. Last time what we had discussed about the CPU subject. In that CPU subject today I will take some explanations about the statements and the decision making statements. First of all, what comes under the statements? The statements includes some sort of circumstances which explains the conditions and the representations. And what is a condition is actually, see, in programming language, when we talk about C language, the statements are some sort of instruction given to a computer. C executes programs sequentially. Sometimes a program requires checking of certain conditions in a program executions. What happens when we execute a program? A program contains many instructions and many statements, and when the compiler compiles the program, it executes one statement at a time. C provides various key condition statements to check the condition and executes the statements according to the conditional criteria. Some conditions are to be there which we have to check whether the condition is true or false. These type of statements are called decision making statements. The decision making statements or the conditional statements are of four types. First is if statements, second is if else statements, third is nested if statements, and switch statements. First of all, I want to give a brief description about the if statements. The if statements are those statements which contains only the condition to be checked whether the condition is true. Okay, and in the second part we will discuss about the if else statements. The if else statements contains whether the condition is true or condition is false, and when there is a need to check a condition within the conditions, the third topic will come, that is the nested if else statements. And when the multiple if else condition are there, we are having a particular keyword that is called switch. First of all, if statements ensures that the statement is executed only when the condition is true. It checks the conditions. It is having a syntax that if a condition is to be described, then the starting braces, statements, and the ending braces. We take an example that if grade is greater than equals to 60%. Okay, then what happens, then we when we print the output, the print output will check that it is a passed, the student who was getting a grade which is greater than or equals to 60%. That means the student is absolutely passed. It checks that the statement is true. If the statement is true, it will print the statement, otherwise it will not print that particular statement. We are having a flowchart. In the flowchart, we are seeing that the first conditional, the entering of the flowchart, then a test condition is there. Test condition, there is a diamond which defines that the condition is to be checked. Okay, then if the condition is true, it will go to the true block, and the statement block, which is a particular block of operations which contains more than one statements, can be executed. And if there is a false condition, then it will go forward for the next statements and to the end of the particular program. We are having another example that hash include studio.h, hash include conio.h. First of all, before starting if conditions, I want to explain that why we use hash. Hash is a preprocessor. It is an instruction given to a compiler to execute the first statement. Okay, preprocessor means pre means pehle, and processor means to process, to give a certain type of output. Then we have to include this preprocessor. Then it contains a library functions. Before studio.h, there is a marking, there is a braces which defines the studio library functions. Then the library function satisfies a particular functions which is already predefined in the library of the C compiler. Similarly, we are having conio.h. Conio.h means the to print the output onto the console. This type of functions which is needed, for example, scanf, printf are the functions which are included in the conio.h file. Then void main function, we are having int a. A is type of a integer. Then we have also defined the value of a, that is 5. A equals to 5 means a is a constant which is having a value of 5. Then we are putting a condition that if a is greater than 4, absolutely a is equals to 5, but what we are defining, a is greater than 4. Okay, then if a is greater than 4, definitely the condition is true, then it will print the statement that value of a is greater than 4. What happens when we check a particular condition? It checks that the condition is true or false. If it is true, it will enter, the loop will enter into a particular conditional statement. Suppose we are having a conditional statement a is greater than 4, then it will print the value of a is greater than 4. Then we are having another if statement a equals to 4, that means a is equals to 4. A is not equals to 4 because what we had earlier assigned that a equals to 5. Now the value of a is cannot be equal to 4, then it will not print the value of a is 4. See what will be the output? The output is value of a is greater than 4. So what we had seen that if the condition is true, which when the statement the condition is true, our compiler will execute that type of a condition in the if statement. Now we come to the next topic. Our next topic is if else statements. Earlier we have seen that the condition is true, then it will execute. But what happens when the condition is false? Then the condition is false. If I want to print a true condition as well as the false conditions, in that criteria we will follow the if else statements. If else statements, the syntax is if condition, then the curly braces starts, then true statements. If the condition is true, then it will print the if statement, then if it is false, then it will print the else condition, that is the false statement. Then there is a flowchart. Flowchart is entry control to test an expressions. If the expression is true, it will go to the left side and the true block of statement is executed. If the condition is false, it will go to the false side, that is the right side of the block, and it will execute the false block statements. Okay, then what happens when we want to print the two types of statements? Suppose a condition is to be checked and whether the condition is true or false. If it is a true, then it will print the true block, and if the condition is false, it will print the false block. Then one more example, we are having hash include studio.h, hash include conio.h, void main. We are starting, we are taking a number that is int number, integer type of number we are having. Then we are printing f, enter a number. What type of number? Suppose we are taking a number is 4, and after that scanf, what we are writing? Scanf %d end of number. That means we are giving an address of number, and if we are putting, scanf is a command, by using the scanf command we can enter any number onto the console. And if number modulus 2 equals to 0, modulus 2 means if my remainder is 0, suppose we are taking what we had taken, the number 4 modulus 2 equals to 0, definitely the 4 will be completely divided by 2. Then what happened in the printf? The number is even. Definitely if remainder is 0, then the number will be even. Okay, else if the number is not even, then it will be a odd number. In the else condition, definitely if the number is not even, we will print the odd number. Okay, what happens? Suppose now what happens, we can change it. हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि जो नंबर है, नंबर को हम लोग पहले हमने क्या लिया था, 4 लिया था. Now we will change it and we will take it as 3. If the number is 3, when if conditions is occurs, then if 3 modulus 2 equals to 0, what it will print? 1. Okay, in that condition my if condition will be false. At the time of the false condition, in the printf, else will be executed, and the else will be executed in the form number is odd. Definitely 3 is an odd number. Okay, see when we are entering number 11, then the 11 is divisible by 2, and what we will get? We will get a certain remainder. If the remainder is not equals to 0, then the odd statement will be print, then number is odd. In that conditions, when we take any type of number in the even format or in the odd format, we have to check it out, it is completely divisible by 2. If the number is completely divisible by 2, then the resultant will be the remainder resultant will be 0, then it is an even number, else the condition will be executed of the odd one, then the number will be odd. The next condition, nested if else statements. Now what happens when there is one or more condition is to be checked? Okay, what happens in nested if? It is a conditional statements which is used when we want to check more than one conditions at a time of executing a program. Okay, if it founds the condition is true, then the statement is executed, and if it founds the condition is false, it will go to the next statements and it will check the next statement for the if else conditions. See what happens, we are having if into an if then else. Okay, we are having if else block in an if else block. what we are considering that पहले हमारे पास में एक बड़ा if else है, उसके अंदर we are inserting that small if else block. We have to check it out, अगर एक कंडीशन मेरी ट्रू होती है तो उसके अंदर मेरी दूसरी कंडीशन वो फॉलो अप करता है कि नहीं करता. सपोज वी टेक एन एग्जाम्पल, वी आर हैविंग 3 numbers. We have to check a greatest number among 3 numbers. Suppose what happens in the condition of 2 numbers, the condition will be true or false. But when we take 3 numbers, we have to check it out, A is greater than B or A is greater than C. In that conditions, we have to check for more than 2 conditions at a time. So in that type of statements, we use nesting of if else statements. The syntax is given: if else condition, the condition 1, and if else test condition 2nd, and we are having a particular block of statements of the second condition, else the second condition false statement, and if the both conditions statement 1 and statement 2 is absolutely wrong, it will print the statement 3. Okay, we had seen the syntax, now we are testing it out the flow chart. What happens, we are having a flow chart, entry of a loop, then pyramid satisfies a particular test condition, then test condition 1 is there. If the condition is true, it will jump to the test condition true, and if again the condition is true, it will print the second true block, it will not print the false block. If the condition 2 is false, then it will print the false statement and the statement will be executed of the false block. And if both conditions are not satisfied, then the condition will print the false block of the statement 3. This satisfies that you're having a three variables, and among 3 variables we have to check it out for a one particular conditions. Either we have to check it out a smallest number among 3 numbers, or we have to check it out for a largest number among 3 numbers. See, the same example is given. We are having input A, B, C. If A is greater than B and if A is greater than C. अगर मेरा A B से बड़ा होता है तो मैं ये चेक करूंगा कि अगर मेरा A C से तो बड़ा नहीं है, अगर मेरा A B से बड़ा है और C से भी बड़ा है तो डेफिनेटली A मेरा क्या है, ग्रेटेस्ट है. अगर मेरा A ग्रेटेस्ट नहीं है तो डेफिनेटली मेरा क्या ग्रेटेस्ट होगा, C ग्रेटेस्ट होगा, क्योंकि पहले हम लोग चेक करा चुके हैं कि A इज ग्रेटर देन B एंड वी आर टेस्टिंग इज A इज ग्रेटर देन C. अगर मेरा A C से छोटा है तो डेफिनेटली C इज ग्रेटर देन B. ओके, देन अगर ये दोनों मेरी कंडीशन फॉल्स है, अगर मेरी जो पहली कंडीशन थी A इज ग्रेटर देन B, अगर ये मेरी कंडीशन फॉल्स है, देन वी विल गो टू द एल्स ब्लॉक एंड चेक इट आउट इफ B is greater than C. If B is greater than C, definitely it will print the true statement, that is print B. Print B is means that B is greatest one. Else, if the condition is false, definitely C will be the greatest one. We are checking the 3 statements. It becomes easier by seeing a flow chart. In the flow chart, we are having entering of if A is greater than B. In the first block, what we are seeing, if A is greater than B. अगर A मेरा B से greatest है तो क्या होगा, it will go to the true point of the next block. जब वो next block पर जाएगा तो क्या check होगा, A is greater than C. अगर मेरा A B से भी कैपिटल है, B से भी बड़ा है और A मेरा C से भी बड़ा है तो डेफिनेटली मेरा क्या हो जाएगा, A ग्रेटेस्ट हो जाएगा. लेकिन अगर A इज नॉट ग्रेटर देन C तो डेफिनेटली C इज द ग्रेटेस्ट वन, बिकॉज वी हैड ऑलरेडी सीन दैट A इज ग्रेटर देन B. If my first statement that is A is greater than B is false, we will check out for the B and C criteria. If B is greater than C, it will print the B is greatest one, and if B is not greater than C, then it will print C is greatest one. We are having a program. In that program, what we are doing, hash include studio.h, then main function, then integer a, b and c. We are having three values of a, b and c. Printf what we are printing, enter the value of a. What we are doing, we are entering a value of a. Scanf satisfies that the value of a is to be inserted onto the console. Then printf enter the value of b. Scanf %d and b, it satisfies that it defines that the b value is to be inserted onto the console, and similar way we are entering the value of c. What happens, we suppose for an example we will take a is equal to 2, b is equal to 5 and c is equal to 3. What happens, a is equal to 2, b is equal to 5 and c is equal to 3. Then we will check a is greater than b. A is equal to 2 and b is 5. Definitely the condition will be false and it will go to the next loop checking that else condition. If what happens, if b is greater than c, it will check the 5 and 3. 5 is greater than 3 and it will print b is greatest. And suppose we will reverse the order. What we are doing, we are taking a is equal to 5, b is equal to 2 and c is equals to 3. Then what happens in that loop? What happens in that loop? Then a is equals to 5, a is greater than b. If a is greater than b, then 5 is definitely greater than 2. Okay, then it will check it out. 5 is greater than c